If you are in your 20s or your 30s and you're feeling stuck or behind, or like everyone else seems to have it together and you are just keeping your head above water, you might be going through a quarter life crisis. In this video, we're going to explore what a quarter life crisis actually is, what can trigger it, and most importantly, stick around to the end because I'm going to be giving you my top tips on how to navigate it. Welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Liz White. If you want evidence-based practical tips for your mental health, then hit subscribe. First up, what is a quarter life crisis? A quarter life crisis is basically what it sounds like, a bit like a midlife crisis, but earlier. So it's a crisis that's quarter of your way through adulthood, and it usually happens anywhere between 25 years old and 35 years old. It's really common, and studies show that within that age bracket, you can have anywhere between 35 and 85% of people experiencing a quarter life crisis. And what it looks like is a lot of self-doubt, feeling stuck, questioning your life path, and wondering if you're doing this thing called life right. But let's get more specific. How can you tell if you're in a quarter life crisis? Let's find out. You may be constantly comparing yourself to other people. You may have lots of self-doubt, especially around big life decisions like your job, your career, relationships, and generally the direction that your life is going in. You may feel anxious about your future, and you may feel like you don't really know what you want out of your life and you feel a bit stuck. You may feel like you're behind on some life timeline. And this is sometimes called milestone anxiety. And this is where you start measuring your life against other people's milestones. So for example, baby announcements, getting a new house, getting engaged, people's weddings. And that can be exhausting. You may also feel quite disillusioned. So you may lack purpose and really find yourself questioning what you're doing with your life. What's the point to all of this? Who am I really? And all of this may lead you to feel really overwhelmed and sometimes quite hopeless, where you can't see how your life is going to get better. Now, psychologically, this is a really tough place to be, especially if you feel like everyone around you has it sorted. And this can really lead to feelings of anxiety, lacking confidence in yourself, low mood, and depression. So if this sounds like the kind of headspace that you're in at the moment, then please keep watching. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and towards the end of this video, I'm going to share my tips on how you can get there. But first, if you're getting value from this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So now let's think about what can trigger a quarter life crisis. So number one, unsurprisingly, is job or career dissatisfaction. So within this age bracket, you may have gone from full-time education into a full-time job. And there are certain pressures that come along with that. You may even be struggling to find a job, particularly in today's job market. You may be experiencing repeated rejections or even not getting any interviews. Or for some people, they're experiencing job redundancies or losing their jobs. And then another major trigger can be when you feel like you've made the wrong decision within your career and you feel trapped in it. Or you're not sure if this is the thing that you want to do for the next 30, 40 years. You may have questions like, am I in the right career? Did I choose the right university degree? What do I do next? And all of these questions, especially if they're constant, can take a real toll on your mental health. The second trigger can be money stress. In this particular life stage, you face so many money pressures. Your rent eats up your paycheck. Student loans haunt your inbox. And saving for a house, that's practically impossible. And all of that financial pressure builds up. And before you know it, anxiety and worry sneak in. No wonder this life stage feels quite overwhelming. And this makes a quarter life crisis much more likely. Another trigger to a quarter life crisis is shifting roles and responsibilities. You may be entering into a really committed relationship, or perhaps your friendships are changing. That's really common as well. All of these things are really hard to navigate. It can also feel much harder to make and maintain friendships in this life stage. And that can create difficulties and contribute to someone feeling really isolated. And the final trigger can be social pressure. In your 20s and your 30s, it can feel like everyone else is hitting those life milestones. So we compare, we scroll, we wonder, why not me? And this can cause a lot of anxiety and has a massive impact on your mental health and not feeling good enough. And if you are struggling with not feeling good enough, I have a specific video on how to deal with that. So go and check it out. So I've taken you through the signs of a quarter life crisis and the triggers. So now let's get into the important stuff, which is how do you deal with it? So here's the part that people don't talk about enough. A quarter life crisis can actually be the start of something really transformative. I've seen this in therapy again and again. People go through this really messy, confusing time in their lives and come out clearer, stronger, and more aligned with what they actually want. And this is sometimes called post-crisis growth. And there is research to show that people who have successfully navigated a quarter life crisis report feeling stronger and more resilient as a person. Their self-esteem is better and they've made positive changes in their lives. And in doing so, their quality of lives have improved also. But how do you cope with the quarter life crisis in the meantime? Here are my tips. Firstly, it's really key that you recognize you are not the only one. As I've said, this is a really common experience in what they call emerging adulthood, i.e., that age bracket of early 20s to sort of early 30s. And knowing that you're not the only one can be immensely helpful. So try and hold this in mind. My second tip is that you don't have to have it all figured out. So try and accept that in this period of time where you're feeling quite confused and doubtful, that you're not going to have it figured out. See it as an opportunity to explore, to learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you, whether that's work and career related or in relationships or both. And give yourself permission to feel the uncertainty and the anxiety and the excitement that this might bring up for you. It's okay to feel anxious and doubtful. It's part of the process. Now, if you do find yourself really worrying, quite anxious and overthinking everything, then I do have a specific video that talks through some strategies on how you can deal with that. My third tip is stop comparing yourself. Now, I know this is hard. Try and remember that your journey through life is unique to you, and excessive comparison of people who you feel are ahead of you in some way is just not helpful. And it doesn't help you move forward in your life. And whose life is this anyway? Yours or theirs? So try something called comparison catching. Comparing yourself to other people has become a habit, and we all do it to some extent. But one way to break the comparison habit is to catch it when it happens. And you have to catch it in real time, so as it's happening. So all you need to do is just notice, oh, I'm comparing again. That's not helpful to me. And I actually have a podcast episode and a blog on comparison, so do go and check them out. My fourth tip is talk about it. Studies actually show that the more social support you have in a quarter life crisis, the better you can navigate it. And I'm not talking about having hundreds and hundreds of friends, but rather it's the quality of that support. Even if it's just one person that you talk to, that you confide in and that you trust, that can make a big difference. So reach out to trusted friends or family members, the people that have your back and that you feel safe with. Tell them what's going on for you and tell them how you're struggling. And don't forget, there is always the option for seeking out professional mental health support. So, my last tip is be gentle with yourself. Try and appreciate all that you are navigating at this point in your life. All the things that I've described today, being in the job market for the first time, managing finances, having new responsibilities, you are learning as you go. And I would argue it's a lot harder now than it used to be due to all of the social pressures of social media and how busy we are and how available we are with these gadgets and devices in our hands. So give yourself a break and treat yourself like you would a good friend during this time. I really hope that this has given you a good overview of the quarter life crisis and how to navigate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm curious, is this something that you're experiencing in your life right now? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.